Board of County Commissioners now in session. We'll begin with a prayer followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Jones, if you'd lead us in prayer.
Our Heavenly Father, we thank you today for this day you've given us. God, we thank you for this time you've given us together. God, we ask you today for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, God, above all prudence, as we do our very best to do what's best for the people and the citizens of Franklin County today. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll begin with approval of minutes.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Massey, second by Commissioner Lockley. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries. Next will be the payment of county bills.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Lockley, second by Commissioner Jones. Any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? The motion carries. Michael?
Commissioners, before we move forward today, I'll let Alan do it because Alan and Roxy has been together a lot longer, and I'll let him talk about this situation.
As you know, I had announced and started my retirement a while ago, but I'm still here. Roxy Allen has announced her retirement, and she hopes to really wrap it up. So we appreciate all she's done for the office and all the years she's worked here. And we had a little retirement party last week for her, and it was for the staff. And we had a great time, and she had her family there. And I had written a little poem for her, so I think I will now read the poem to Roxy. And what I did was I used the word retirement, and each letter has a meaning, and so this is what retirement means to Roxy. R is for Roxy, mother, grandmother, co-worker, wife. E is for easy, as she now expects her life. T is for terrific, the job she is bored. And you'll apologize for this next one. I is for irritation, of which the public is no more. You know, we all have our little inside jokes here. R is for riches, her family will provide. E is for the extra time, she will have a lot. M is for money, something she will have not. E is for everything that will fill her with joy. N is for not, a word she will employ when asked to do things she does not enjoy. T is for time that runs out like sand, so make sure retirement is awesome and grand.
Happy retirement.
You want to say anything?
Thank you all. I appreciate the privilege to have worked here. You're a great group to work for, and I hope that my predecessors or my ones coming behind me enjoy it as much as I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you for all your hard work.
Thank you.
Next on the schedule, agenda will be Department Director's Report. Howard Neighbors, Superintendent of Public Works.
Morning, Commissioner. How y'all doing?
Just fine.
Just have a couple of items, or one item on, well, me and Alan went over about Alligator Point last week, or the last 2 weeks. Hopefully we should have that finished this week. That's with the signs and stuff, which we had to order all the signs and stuff, which some of the people called, which I explained it to them.
You want to, while you're here, you want to talk about Alligator Point anyway, for the traffic control signs now?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So this is item number 4 on my report, item number 3, regarding traffic control for Alligator Drive. Inform the board that I asked Michael Marone to ask the sheriff if he could obtain some signals through the Florida Sheriff's Association. You all may recall, for the sake of the community here, we're looking at getting 2 traffic control devices on that 1,000-foot, 1-lane section of road. One will be somewhere around George Voss, the other one will be down near Tom Roberts. The idea is to have better control, or have true traffic control, through that 1-lane section here. As we realize spring is coming, more traffic people who are not familiar with the point are going to increase down there, and we realize that it's a hazardous situation and we need to get control of that. So since we can't make the road 2-lane there, ladies and gentlemen, because the ocean is eating up that 1 lane, we are already on the northern boundary of the property line. We can't shift up north any further without getting on private property. We are forced to deal with a 1-lane section until we get FEMA money in to move the ocean back, which is what we intend to do, move the ocean back and get your 2 lanes in there going south a little bit. So for the time being, we need to control traffic. I asked the sheriff I asked Michael Marone to get hold of the sheriff. I did see the sheriff myself. He said he couldn't find anything through the Sheriff's Association. I asked Pam Burnell to go through Florida DEM on options, And I will say that she got one answer from FDOT, I got a separate answer from FDOT. She got an answer that says FDOT has signals available. FDOT called me again this morning saying, no, we don't. So there's confusion on FDOT's end about what they have, or where it is, or what's going on. But, so we will continue to pursue that. But in any event, I did find vendors who actually lease these things out. So while Pam is looking through DEM to see what options we might be able to get, FDOT told me they didn't have any of the device inventory. I have not found a paving contractor who has any available. But on the advice of FDOT, I contacted Duke Energy to see what they do. And they did recommend several vendors. And I have found 3 vendors: Acme Barricades, Bob Barricades, and AWP Traffic Control, who rent portable traffic control signs. And I have obtained quotes. And to my knowledge, these are the only 3 vendors in the state. Now, I will say at this point, AWT has not provided me a quote, so what I will do, I will ask Roberts & Roberts to see if they can get me a 3rd quote. In order to satisfy FEMA rules for an emergency situation like this, I don't have to go through the bid process, but I have to have 3 quotes. So I have 2 good quotes from people who provide these things, and I will get a 3rd quote. So in any event, I did talk to Joyce Waters, FEMA consultant, who thought the cost of traffic control would be reimbursed with the PW we have written once the PW is obligated. Right now, the PW is in review. It's some $3.5 million. I fully expect to be obligated shortly, and so we'll be able to use reimbursement for under that circumstances, based on what Joyce Waters told me. If we obtain traffic control signs before the PW is obligated, the county might be responsible for that cost. If it is, we'll have to take it out of the Ballpoint Trust Fund. I mean, it's just, you know, hopefully it won't come to that. But I believe we need to move forward with the devices because we are coming into the spring summer traffic pattern. So I want to talk to the board about that. I mean, if you all want, I'll tell you the 2, and I sort of defer to the attorney. I'll tell you the 2 quotes I have now, so we have it on the record. Sure. And this is a by the month for 2 traffic control devices, one at either end of the situation. The first quote I got was from Acme Barricades, a cost of $6,000 a month for 2 signs with some markers leading into that. And the second one was from Bob's Barricade for a cost of $4,560 a month. Now, they gave me a 6-month quotation, but I believe I can get it by the month. So $4,560 from Bob's Barricade and $6,000 a month from Acme, and I will get a 3rd quote from Roberts & Roberts. So I defer to, you know, the intentions of the board. So my feeling we need to get some in place pretty quickly. We have Representative Alligator Point here. I mean, I don't know, Commissioner, I'll defer to you what we do.
Well, this is something we've been talking about for a few weeks now, and it's came to the point we've got to do that. But my concern is this. Usually when you have traffic control devices, you have to have them kind of monitored on a 24-hour basis. What are you going to do to take care of that?
These will be running 24 hours a day. These will be battery operated, solar powered operated. These are 24-hour day signals.
So are we going to take and shift it over to the road department for them to be able to check it out and make sure that they're operating efficiently and in a good manner to where we don't have any accidents down there?
Well, that or the sheriff's department and/or I hadn't spoken to Bob's Barricade or Acme. I mean, I don't know how much maintenance they do under a lease arrangement. I mean, these are signs they own. I will tell you the challenge that we have not yet addressed is the timing. I mean, I can't tell you whether the sequence needs to be the red light lasts for 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 10 minutes. We don't know yet. So there's going to be some searching out to find out what is the most efficient traffic pattern down there. You know, it's 1,000 feet. You're only supposed to go about 20 miles an hour to that 1,000-foot section. So I know even just one car is going to take a minute, and you want to have enough time to have cars, you know, staged. So when the light turns green, you have 3 or 4 cars go through there. So that's something we'll have to talk to. Either the engineers will have to give us some advice on, or it may be the Acme Barricade and Bob's Barricade that they own these things, that they have a sense of timing.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to make a motion that we get and instruct you and staff to follow through with this, and let's get those set up and just keep us informed on what's going on it.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Sanders, second by Commissioner Lockley. Any further discussion by the board?
I have something, sir.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
Because it's a $1,500 difference, or on the bid process, and I know I'm new to this, I apologize.
That's right.
Are they talking about the same thing?
I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna go with the low quote, assuming it has all the same conditions. I mean, I know the two devices are the same.
Right.
Well, I say this, I mean, this is all verbal communication I had with both companies. I told them what I needed. They went on Google Earth when I was on the phone with them. They looked at the locations. We were all talking the same thing, you know, on the phone. So I presume that these are comparable devices.
I know we're still waiting for, excuse me, for a third bid, but that's a really big difference in price, that's why.
It is. Now, Bob's Barricade may be closer. I don't know.
Okay.
And I will say the one difference is, well, they did say a minimum 3-month rental. So, whereas Bob's Barricade gave me a month by month. I mean, Acme gave me a month by month at 6,000. Bob's Barricade, I see now, it says minimum 3-month rental. I don't know if there's economy of scale there over a 3-month period.
It doesn't really matter.
But I'm sure, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I see happening, is that we'll be responsible for maintaining these traffic control devices until we get a contractor down there, and then it's gonna be the contractor's responsibility to keep the road open and safe while the road is being rebuilt. But I will tell you, I fully expect that to be 6 months away. I mean, it could be longer, but it could easily be 6 months, because the biggest challenge, and I know people get frustrated, one, FEMA has to authorize the money, and two, once they do, which we hope to happen in a week or so, then we have to go to the state of Florida and get a permit to build a road that you all need immediately, but we have to go to the state of Florida and get a permit to rebuild this road because it's seaward of the coast control line, and part of this construction will be in the water. And we have to go through this whole process of making sure that we're not impacting sea turtles or whales or whatever else may be swimming around out there. And it's just a lengthy process that we have to go through, and we can't short circuit it. I mean, it's just, we're forced to get a permit from the state. So,
And if we get another permit challenge like we've had before, that could add 6 or 8 months worth of litigation time.
we are certainly vulnerable to a challenge from a property owner, that's correct.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Well, Alan, what we're dealing with, we dealing with a public safety issue here.
Yes, sir.
So we need to get that thing set up and get it running.
I hope to get it running in a week or so, yes, sir. I mean, this,
Because it's, you know, it's children out of school, you got that summer, the college is having summer vacation and all that, and it's gonna be a lot of extra traffic down there.
yes, sir.
Yeah, with the spring break coming up,
Spring break.
and it won't be but a week or two.
Yes, sir.
And that place is always popping anyway, so got a lot of traffic in there.
We need to get this took care of. I mean, you worry about the cost later.
Yes, sir. No, I plan to do it, as soon as the meeting's over, get a hold of Acme, which I think was the lowest one, and see how fast they can get up here, and let's see what, what it takes. But I appreciate your guidance. I did not think about it, nor did I ask them about maintenance. I mean, there's at least the device, so I'm sure mechanically it's their responsibility, but you're right as far as, making sure there's enough sunlight to make sure the batteries are charged, or whatever it takes. I don't know who has to
Oh,
charge.
they're gonna be solar?
I don't even know, but they know these are remote controlled.
Lord.
I can't believe they're generator driven, but they might be, I don't know.
They got a piece of overtime. Somebody stay out there and do it.
Well, we'll get that clarified, Howard and I, before we proceed on this. If there's any big issue, I'll let the chairman and
Let
the
it,
commissioners know.
yeah.
They won't be run off no generator.
No, I don't believe they will.
They won't.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Does the board have anything for Mr. Howard?
But let me just say, because we have more people now, in case you all didn't realize, we had a long discussion last time about the road. As you all know, that's the permanent road now. That's not a bypass anymore. That's your permanent route. So we will be, one thing that I want to let everybody know, we will be making the curve on Tom Roberts easier, because I talked to Fairpoint. They will put up bollards there to protect their pedestal. Their pedestal is their main junction right now. They're not gonna move that pedestal, but we're gonna have a divided highway there. The westbound lane going on to the point will go on the right-hand side of the pedestal. We're gonna put some line rock down there. You'll go across the corner there and kind of go over the curb, and it'll be a much straighter shot. As you're leaving the point, you'll stay on the road where you're driving now. So we'll make that a softer curve as you're coming onto the point. And when we get to permanent construction, I haven't had time to talk to Clay about this. Permanent construction, we'll have to deal with Fairpoint's bollard, and they'll have to be buried in the ground, and they'll have to be able to get into that thing from a construction standpoint as people need service. So that'll be a permanent relocation when we get a contractor down there. but that'll ease up that first turn on Tom Roberts. We then clipped trees and such to make the road more visible. As we come down, we took those gates away, they're already gone, the road department did a good job there. As we get down to where the road turns on the Harbor Circle, we will also widen that road out so that you'll be driving on either asphalt, built asphalt or line rock there. You'll widen that turn out, so that'll also be a smooth turn, maintaining 2 lanes of traffic. You're going down, there's already a nice curve there where you turn heading towards the fire department. We are gonna maintain those stop signs there because that's the fire department, and we wanna make sure people slow down around the fire department. So even though you think this is a stupid place for stop signs, they're there. There's markings on the asphalt, we're gonna keep those there. You'll have to stop twice, so be it. Then you will come back onto Alligator Drive, and we have widened the road out with a lime rock there to make that also 2 lanes, so that you will have as far as I'm concerned, and the road department is doing a great job, you'll have 2 lanes of traffic flowing the whole way until we get asphalt down there. Some places will be some lime rock, but we will maintain 2 lanes of traffic and get rid of those bottlenecks that we've had down there since the storm. That's what we're working on.
Mr. Chairman, I've got one thing
Mr. Chairman,
for Howard.
vote on the motion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We don't have a vote on the motion yet. We have a motion by Commissioner Sanders and a second by Commissioner Lockley to authorize the rental of the traffic signals at Alligator Point.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? All opposed? That motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, I attended the Tate Tail Liaison meeting last week with the Tate Tail Forest, and I'm the county's representative, and at that meeting, it got brought up by Miss Leslie Cox from Carabel about the rutting on Highway 67 and the ditches. And I tried to explain to her that come the middle to the end of October, we don't do any more mowing on Highway 67 until sometime late May. And she was upset about the rutting, and I let her know that it was caused by the guys at mud bogs in the ditches. And we have an ordinance on that. We have passed it over to the sheriff to have him enforce that. At the same time, she asked and requested that we may do some signs that, Highway 67 is a scenic byway. And she asked for us to make some signs to go along there, alerting people that that is a wildflower area. So I just want to let the board know that I've directed the road department to make these up. And they're gonna be pretty, and I will have Howard bring a copy of them the next time he comes to show you what it looks like. But this is illustrating the wildflowers on Highway 67. And I want to put in a form of a motion, since we do have an ordinance on the books about the mud bogging out on 67. I want to put a letter to Sheriff A.J. Smith and ask him to please enforce that.
Commissioners, I did actually send an email to them, and Deputy, I don't know.
Do you have a
his-
response?
Yes, ma'am. I don't know his rank, but Carl Whaley, he is on patrol with that. I got a response from the sheriff's office that he is enforcing that.
Okay, he is
law. Yes.
enforcing it?
Yes,
Because I saw somebody in there the other day,
Yes.
but anyway, I tried to let Ms. Cox know that it was not the county tractors. In fact, we don't like it, and Howard, you can reiterate what I say here, because it bogs our tractors down when we try to mow.
I've been dealing with it for years too, so.
That's across the county now. That's not just on 67.
Yeah.
That's on Powell River.
Yeah.
Numerous places in the county that bogging on the side of the road,
I'll let the sheriff know
Yeah.
that, 'cause I kind of was specific about.
across the county.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone have anything else for Mr. Howard?
Can I ask a question?
You can come forward to the podium and state your name for the record.
Nita Molesby. I was told that it would come up this morning in the road department report about the pond on St. George Island on West Gulf Beach Drive, and what we could do about it.
She's talking about the place, just past BJ's Pizza, which every time it rains, it floods right there and water stands for probably a week or so before it, disappears, so.
Well, it used to be the old, like, it was your previous
Well,
office.
it's in front of our old building, the water company, with apartments and resort vacation properties and resort vacation maintenance. The problem was caused when the county paved West Gulf Beach Drive. I've been over there since March of 2005. And when they paved it, they built it up, and now every time it rains, it makes a pond so that anybody going into 139 West Gulf Beach Drive, 125 West Gulf Beach Drive, has to walk down to the corner and come back up through BJ's Pizza's parking. And the county caused this problem. And the previous commissioner for the island, every month I ask her about it. Every month. And I've been trying to get an answer on this for over a year. Well, I'm longer than that, but I have been talking to everybody I could talk to for over a year. You cannot park and walk into those two businesses.
Howard and I, finish with you? Howard and I met last week there, and what we did, and we met with someone from the resort realty company. They came outside and we talked. There is a county right-of-way area that's paved. And what Howard did, we got a no cut so we know where all the lines are. We're gonna look at it with clay. And we're going to see, there was one option of going across the street, but that's very expensive and it's very, tearing up that road is something we don't wanna do. And then there's a bike path, that costs us trouble. There's a way we can actually dig up some of the county's right of way there. Hopefully use some kind of material that would allow the water to percolate and go under. And that pond, it still might be there for an hour or so, but it won't be there all day. That's what we're looking at. There's a couple options with it. Howard has another idea about putting a pipe in and setting it up west, I think, if I'm not mistaken, yes. So we're waiting for the no cut to flag where all the lines are, and then we're gonna go out there with clay, and the three of us will look at it, and we should have a plan, shortly. And then we'll run it by Ms. Nita and the residents of the building, the tenants of the building, I'm sorry. Good?
So what we talked about at the last meeting is not gonna work, is what you're saying? Didn't we talk about that at the last meeting? Because we talked about cutting just cutting the road, but cutting just not the drivable surface. but
Yes,
side.
that's what I'm talking about, yeah, what we talked about, you and I talked about, yes.
Yeah, we talked
yes,
about
that section. But we needed the no cut to mark where, there has to be a lot of lines there. I don't want to cut any telephone lines, any data lines, because that would make any situation worse.
State law, you got another file.
Yes, so we're in the process of doing that right now. I think Howard said that no
Either
cut.
way you go, you got asphalt, so,
Yeah, it's just a lot of asphalt there.
Yeah.
And there's no place for the water to go.
yeah.
Can you bore up on
That's what we're talking about, maybe trying to cut a little section out, either maybe cutting a little spot out and run a little pipe or something that'll pull that water out of there. But when you go west, you got sand dunes, you know what I'm saying, big
Yeah.
hills, so. And if you go across the road south, you're talking about a long, you're gonna cut that main road in two, which is West Gulf Beach Drive.
And the bike path.
And the bike path, then run
And
it.
the driveway that's
And-
there.
yeah.
Well, I can say, historically being here, I know that was my concern with Gulf Beach Drive being paved. I was worried about that.
Unless you
They
pave,
didn't have nowhere to go.
if you pave a little lip, maybe on that section, you might could pave it up a little bit higher than what our road is, and maybe, water across, so.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is, we
Yeah,
put a
yeah.
surface on the asphalt, the road's always been paved for a long time, but we resurfaced, we just added an inch of asphalt, and their parking lot now is an inch low, so you have an inch of water being trapped. I mean, it's not a 2-foot deep pond, it's an inch or maybe an inch and a half of water being trapped in that area. If I'm not saying.
It's too deep to walk through.
I'm not disagreeing with that. There's a couple other solutions. One is someone could improve the parking lot, raise the parking lot up, and then the water won't sit there.
We didn't cause it.
I know, but but you want to use the county right of way, why don't you have a responsibility to help fix the problem?
Because we didn't cause the problem.
But if you didn't use the right of way, it wouldn't be a problem there at all.
Well, there wasn't a problem there until they paved Gulf Beach Drive.
Commissioner, the section on the right of way is not that wide.
20 feet wide.
Yeah, so if we dig that up at a certain point, if we dig it up, it's gonna be a section where they don't park, it'll be where they can walk around to get there when they park. So, I know, it has to, one of those things I gotta show you rather, through a drawing rather than trying to explain it to you. But it's just a lot of asphalt, there's nowhere for the water to go. And right there where Ms. Nita's talking about, if you stand there, it's a bowl. Whichever way you turn, you see it's higher on both sides.
Exactly,
east and west.
it's just a big bowl there, east, west, or whatever, it'll be dry, and you just got that one little section, like a little holding pond, basically, like she said right here, so.
Howard, when I went and looked at it the other day, like, Alan said, I think if we built that parking lot up with some of that 57 rock,
You'd have to, I don't know, you'd have to cut that asphalt out to put that
we
57.
cut that down up top and up to the
Right.
side, up to where it comes around the corner.
Right.
Put it, I believe that would do away with cutting all that road and all.
Yeah,
Then we push that water on down towards the east.
back to the east or west.
Cause she called me the other day, I had rode over there and it was a lot of water.
It's a lot, but I think Clay's supposed to look at it, our engineer, so, and we go from there.
So y'all are aware of the problem? you're
Yeah,
working
so
on
we
the
done got the
solution.
no cut on everything, I done got the paper in on all that, so.
Okay, but just keep the board addressed of what kind of solution y'all come up with. Any other comments from Mr. Howard?
Mr. Chairman, while Howard's here, can we have Alan address the board on the golf cart ordinance issue that's been brought up down at Alligator Point? I don't know, we may have some input from the road department that could be necessary, if the board's ready to address that issue at this time.
I mean, I don't think, I mean, I'm in a rare mood this morning, ladies and gentlemen, so I apologize for my bluntness. But,
Let me just set the stage. Commissioner Sanders had asked the county attorney and county staff to look at an issue that she had been informed of about raising the issue of perhaps enacting a golf cart ordinance at Alligator Point. I've met with Alan and Mr. Carrington about that issue, and they have given me their position in the negative on that particular question. But since he's here, Mark's not, I just wanted him to be able to make a record about what his concerns were about a potential golf cart ordinance now.